Saul dies and David mourns. David spares Saul. And this is 2Samuel 26. As time passed, more and more of the Israelite people wanted to follow David, not Saul. Saul became more and more angry. Saul was determined to find David and kill him. He went out into the distant hills with a group of soldiers to hunt David down. When darkness fell, they made a camp for the night, and Saul fell asleep in a cave. This is where David and his men found Saul fast asleep. "You can kill your enemy now," said David's followers. "Then you won't have to keep running from his anger." But David said, "I cannot kill the king of Israel," and turned to leave the cave. He left a sign to show he had been there, though. He and his men took Saul's spear and water jar. Then, when they were a safe distance away from the camp, David gave a great shout to wake Saul's guards. He wanted them to know how easily he could have killed the king if he wanted to. Tonight we're going to read Saul dies and David mourns. So this is 2 Samuel, first chapter. When Saul realizes that David had been close enough to kill him, but had spared his life, he was ashamed. But he and David remained enemies. Saul was no longer a strong and powerful king. Soon afterwards, there was another terrible battle against the Philistines. Knowing that he was defeated, Saul took his own life with his sword. Saul's son Johnathan, who had been David's true friend, was killed in battle. Even though their friendship had ended badly, David was sad that Saul had died in such a way. He was even sadder about his good friend Johnathan. David wrote a song of lament for the two men. "How the mighty have fallen," he sang. Saul and Johnathan, such wonderful men. In death they were not divided. David was now determined to become king.
This week's lesson that I learned. This week's lesson, there's many things to learn. And so just like last week, I'm not exactly sure if I learned the lesson completely because there was so much happening, so much going on. And it's actually kind of sort of a piggyback or a continuation of last week. I was having car troubles last week. It started last Thursday. So for like a week now, I have been without my vehicle. Without warning, I went to start my vehicle and it didn't start. My battery was drained or something. I was hoping that it wasn't nothing major. It was something minor and everything will be fine. But that was last Thursday. Today is now Friday of the next week. So for the whole week, I've gone without my vehicle. Still having car troubles, so I had to find another way to get to school other than the normal way. So I was without a vehicle. Surprise! My teacher says we have a field trip we're going on this week. Of all weeks to go on a field trip, it had to be the week that I don't have my own vehicle. Normally, because of my past, I don't really make new friends very easily. People have let me down in the past. So I am very guarded when it comes to making friends. There are people in my school that I've made friends with. However, a lot of them are scattered. Like none of them are in my class. We have an odd amount of students in my class. So everyone else is paired up except for me. I would like to make friends, but that's just one of those places right now that I'm not comfortable with. Every now and then we have tasks where we have to pair up with someone. It makes it really kind of hard because I haven't made friends with anyone in my class. My teacher says choose a partner or partners to ride with to go on the field trip. And no one can come with me. I can't fraternize. Because I didn't have my vehicle, I was not able to just drive off. Because people let me down in my past, I'm also uncomfortable with asking people for help. But truthfully, in this world, everyone is going to need someone at some point. So really, that was just like a defense mechanism, response of mine to protect myself from people, to just do things the hard way than to ask for help. And we had to ask someone to carpool with to get to the trip. So it came a time where I would have had to ask someone, could I ride with them, or else I wouldn't have been able to get to the field trip. It all wound up working out. However, I didn't like that moment. And that was not an easy task. So sometimes you have to go through a trial and tribulation. It's for a reason. In the past, I would have ran from this trial. I would have hid from this trial. But this week, I stood this trial right in the face. And I said, I'm here. I'm here, baby. You didn't break me. I'm still here. And I am going to live my dream to the fullest. This is my dream. And I'm not letting anything stop me from achieving my dream by any means necessary. If I have to go through this trial to get to my dream, that's what I'll do for now. And I'll deal with it. And I dealt with it. So I was really tested this week on multiple levels. But those are two of the ways I was tested. Another thing I wanted to talk about was that for months, I've been complaining. I love driving. I'm thankful that I have a vehicle. I'm thankful that I'm able to drive. It's just a lot of times as a mom and a wife, I have so many jobs, so many details and things I have to do for my children, my husband, myself, and other people that I know. They ask me certain things sometimes, and I know I can't do everything for everybody. But when it comes to my children, my husband, and myself, that is a constant thing. It seems as though everybody else get to rest. When there's summer vacation, spring vacation, different vacations, they get a real true vacation. They get to rest. However, I am the only one who's always constantly still doing things every day, every week, and I hardly get to rest. And so sometimes driving is very tiresome. And I was complaining that I was driving too much when it came to this, and I never get this break. And God must have heard me. I know he heard me. And I think he said, here, my child, I'm going to give you a break, because I know that if I don't give you this break, you are not going to give this break to yourself. You're going to keep going and going and going. And so, although I'm not happy and I'm not pleased that my vehicle is not working, I realized on Thursday on my way to school, when I was getting rolled to school by someone else, that was my blessing in disguise. God heard my cries, and he said, my child, I'm going to give you rest. I'm going to allow someone else to have to drive you, because I see that you need a break. You have been faithful in driving everyone else and trying to be there for everyone else. And I hear you complaining that you need some time. You need some rest from driving. And I'm going to give you that rest. And that is my lesson for this week. So those are my lessons for this week. I'm curious to know, what did you learn for this week? Let me know in the comments. So what did you learn?
I learned why.
So now is the time for you to tell me, what did you learn? And next time, boys and girls and friends, we're going to thank you, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in my next one. Later.